Good morning, Angela here with Dogwood Paper Arts. Well, we are back. We're going to start on page 2 today. This was page 1. We finished it up yesterday. And we are going to move on to page 2. And here it is. You can see that I have marked the word top on there, and I have drawn a line down the center point. Now the reason I did that is because I was trying to format this whole thing sideways, and we want to be sure that we keep our tunnel here for our our little pull tab here and our little hinge over here. And we want to be sure that we keep our beautiful little secret pocket up here for our little notebook. So anyway, I marked top. That will help me to stay in order. Excuse me while I put some stuff away there. Okay, so we added some lace on here, and it turned out beautifully. Nice clean lines. I kind of had the feeling I wanted to go with nice clean lines on this. And then when I got to page 2, I thought, well, how do I continue to do that? Well, I came up with some ideas, and although they are a little bit complicated, I think it will work out okay. We'll just take it easy. We'll have a background paper here. We have a pocket, which that's what the center line's for. And these pockets are going to go clear up to the top. Just like that. Okay. And I just put that paper in there for background for right now. And then on top of that is going to go this paper. And I'll tell you how I got that cut in just a moment. Then it's hard to hold it all still. On top of that is going to go this next pocket. And then on top of that is going to go this. So we'll have room for a large photo here. But we also have a tuck spot here. Another pocket. So that you can insert something there. I don't know. We'll think of something. So it will be a little complicated to put this all together, but we are going to figure that out. Now remember, in the first part I told you to save out 2 of these, at least, because we are going to use them. Now the next thing I decided on this page is that we have our little pockets back here on the bottom, and I think that we will make a long flip out piece, a fold out. So it will come down over the top, the size of these pockets. There'll be 2 of them. And then we may need to put some little hinges in here to hold those down. So we'll get there. We just have to do a little at a time to see what we need. So, what do you think? Now I was had recorded this earlier, but there was no sound on it. I don't know what's happened to my other sound on my camera. I have to study up on it some more, I guess. But I do have my mic on now. I'd forgotten it earlier, and So anyway, I was telling you the first time that I noticed that using these brads here, they're not brads, are they? No, brads have wings. Anyway, I can never think of these. I want to call them rivets. Needless to say, I noticed that because these have a hole in them, you can see through them and it shows. So I was telling you earlier that we can find, not this flower, of course I don't like this one with this. We can put some flowers there to cover that. Or, just in case we decide not to do that, draw little circles in there with your pencil and cover those with some little round dots. I do have these. This is a scratch piece of paper. Now we know that that rather matches there. See that? So I'm just going to cut my 2 circles out of this piece of paper that I'd cut. I was just playing around and there we go. I'll move all this other stuff out of the way temporarily. And I'm just going to put that in the same direction, that wood going in the same direction. I'm just going to glue those little dots there. Just in case I decide not to put any flowers on top. Oh, that does not feel right. I came in early this morning and it's kind of cold in our house in the morning, so I keep all my glues beneath a lamp. So I come in the morning and I turn the lamp on them when it's really cold, and to kind of heat them up and get them ready to go to work with me in the craft room. Okay, so there's that one. Let's apply the other one. I do hope I press the record button. Making sure the wood grain is going the same direction as the other one. Otherwise it won't look as visually comfortable. Going to have a little drink of my coffee here. That's good. That's Pioneer coffee. Yum. Yeah, it's a Folgers brand. But I love my coffee. Okay. But I drink all kinds of coffee. The other thing we have to decide on this is, what do we want to do with these pieces here? Do we want to cut some papers to fit? Or do we want to just use washi tape? Oh, Angela, what should you do? I don't know. I don't know. Well, I guess we could use that. Why not? I have to cut a couple of pieces, and then the bottom one we can just piece together with these two. So this would, I would cut it there and right there. So I would need to cut 2 strips of this. Now when you're cutting 2 strips of this like this, oh look, maybe I have one that'll fit. Oh, it's that. No, the other one wouldn't. If you decide to do this, make sure your 1/4 inch is lined up well on your on your cutting board. If it's not lined up well, then one end of your 1/4 inch is going to be fat and one is going to be thin. So just double check your lines and cut carefully. I've got a cord all wrapped around me. There we go. So let's go ahead and apply our pieces to the sides. We don't want to apply the top yet because I was originally going to have you do that, but I realized that that would not work because we may, if we bring those booklets outside of our pockets, then we're going to have to apply some little rivets or something to our paper down here to hook onto those. Does that make sense? Going to cut that off right there. I'm going to try and make it as nice and even as I can. And then I'm going to measure this one right off of this one. I should have just stuck them together originally, but I did not. Okay, lining things up. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And cutting it off. Yep. That one might be a little long. So then we have these 2 extra pieces here that we can use. Maybe. Let's see if they'll fit. Down here on the base. And if we allow the wings to extend, nope, that won't work, so we won't do that. But they should just about match up perfectly. It's not going to, you're not going to be able to tell. Okay, so let's start here. I'm going to run some glue down the center of this. I'm going to wiggle it a little bit and make it so it's not just a straight line. Not that I could make just a straight line, but it will help the glue adhere better. I'm going to go back and distress it. Hopefully my glue won't dry on me. If it does, we will just apply a little more. Okay. And you want to keep this in between those lines. I'm going to have to cut that off a little bit at the top. It was just slightly too long. The one thing about the inking process is it does get your white paper dirty. I don't like that about it. I wish that they would come out with something that would help those of us that are over inkers to get the extra ink off of our white. That helps some, yes. And it's mostly going to get covered anyway. Let's go ahead and ink these up first. And let's see. That is ink. The sponges kind of come apart and they leave ink behind on their little spongy things. So you do want to be sure that you clean your ink up before you put your papers and stuff back on your table. Or if you see little splatters on your paper, don't just wipe it off. Pick the paper up and shake it off in your garbage, because if it's on your paper, it's going to leave that inking scar there behind. Okay, so there's that. Okay, back to this. Once again, run a line of glue and make it kind of squiggly. It just helps the glue to adhere better. I don't know why, but it does. Take any extras off that you might have squished out. Make sure you're putting on the right side of the paper that you want to use. And lining it up. Before you lay it down, see if you have to clip it. If it needs to be clipped, clip it off and ink that little end. Whoops, I inked my paper too, my white paper. Shame on me. Oh well, it's hardly going to be seen right there. Okay, now let's apply these two pieces. Just like that. I think I will cut a little bit off that end, right about there. And let's see. And I'm going to cut a little bit off of this end, right about there. Doesn't look right. The bottom looks crooked. Okay, a little ink there. I must have a little glue right there. Okay, a little squiggly line across. Apply your first piece. I've got a pretty tight fit there with my 1/4 inch. There we go. Look at that. We have 2 eyes and some whiskers. It's a kitty cat. Look, the ears. Meow, 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 meow. Okay, silliness. Okay. What next? Do, 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 do. Okay. So you're thinking, what is she thinking? I don't know. Well, I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. We are going to have to put these two together just slightly. One is slightly longer than the other. I don't know how that happened, but it did. It's not going to matter because we won't go down that far with our booklet anyway. So this is going to go from there to about here. So the first thing you want to do is to take your 1/2" tape, and we are going to tape these two together right here. We are going to line them up at the top, and I think the easiest way to do that would be to grab our scoreboard and let's move that fancy first page of ours out of the way. I'm going to line these two up together right along my scoring board. So you can see I didn't quite get them even, but you know, you do the best you can, and you know, it all works out. Whoops, let's move these this way. So we are going to apply a piece of tape and if they don't match up here, it's going to be okay. That we have a cover paper for that right here. So I'm going to want this to last forever. Forever and a day. It's kind of difficult to get everything to line up like it should. But I also want to run a little bit of glue underneath this score tape. And that is just to keep it from coming off eventually, or coming up eventually, I should say. Okay, I made that a little too long. A little too much glue there. Carefully wipe it off if you need to. Okay. Get the ink off the tips of my fingers. Alright, so we have that. Now, let's do the next part, and that is going to be this. Now we need to check to make sure we got those lined up the right way. And there they are. What the heck? They are off, off, off. Oh, there. Maybe that's it. That's not it. What the heck? Thought I had them all lined up nice and neat. But I really don't, do I? Oh my. Let's see. So we're going to have to fix that a little bit. Oh, I must have my envelopes on the wrong side of each other. Oops, I'll bet that's it. See, we have to fix things if we mistake things. Let's try this. Aha! Well, there we have it. So we need to glue these two together. That's okay on this. No, it's really not. Well, yeah, it is okay because we're going to put the paper over the top of it. That's not my 1/2 inch. Oh, it's under my hand. Okay, once again, giving ourselves a line. That's how far we want the score tape to go no further than. Okay. So you can, if you followed along with me, I apologize for that error in judgment. Check twice, right? Always check twice. There we go. Okay. Now we're okay. That glue is probably okay up there. All right. Whew. Got that part done, didn't we? Okay, find our owl. Not our owl, but our awl. My awl is not there. Okay. Peel that side and peel that side and go ahead and pull this in. Same way on this side. Just roll that tape in. We may not get it all inside of the paper, and if we don't, we can put a little cornstarch on it, and cornstarch will take the sticky out of the tape. And cornstarch won't bother your lungs as long as you're not inhaling it. So if you do use the cornstarch, please do not inhale the dusty stuff. Just very carefully put some on your fingers and run it along the tape to get the sticky out of it. Okie dokie. Okay. So let's make sure we have this going the right direction this time. I believe that's it. That is not it. Goes this way. Okay. So you can probably tell that the way I cut this, oops. Do you realize I am making one mistake after another today? Who woke me up today? My cat woke me up. That's who woke me up. Boy, he wanted to be petted. Pet, 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 pet. Oh, you don't need to do the bottom, just the top. just the top part and maybe just a little on the side, because you're not going to see the bottom. Probably won't see that side either, but let me get the dust off of here. Okay, now, what was I saying? Yes, that's the right way. Okay. If you use paper that's the same color on both sides, you might want to mark one back, or tape this side, or glue this side, or whatever words help you. I'm going to have to clean my little nib here. Oh, do you hear my stomach? Growl, 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 roar, it says. Okay, we're going to leave a little bit of space. Not a lot, but a little. Okay. Let's see, I wonder if I have some cornstarch in here. Sometimes I do. Definitely going to need something there. Right now it got warm, so I'm peeling it off. And it just got warm from me rubbing it. And that is that extra tape. We don't want it there because we have another pocket that's going to go over the top of this one. Let me look over here. Oh, let's see. I don't know if I have cornstarch in here or not anymore. I have to pull my cord up around the table here. So come over this way with me. I have all kinds of goodies in this cupboard. But I do not see cornstarch in here. Lots of paint. Lots of glue. Ooh, what's that? Oh, there's my paper towels. There's a piece of art I did. I do not see any cornstarch. So. Oh, here it is. I got it. Yeah. I had to look in the right box. That's one thing nice about this cord is it follows me around the room. Okay, a little bit of cornstarch. This might be a new one. So I keep cornstarch for painting purposes. Take a little bit, rub it along that edge. Doesn't take much, but once you use this for art supplies, do not take it back to the kitchen. Very important. You don't want to share your art supplies with your kitchen supplies. I have things I use in here that never go back to the kitchen. But then I get new stuff in my kitchen sometimes. So like if you need something new out there, bring it in here. The old one. Not my room. Take it to your art room or your art area. But please don't mix them up. It's too dangerous. Just always want to keep things safe. Okay. Screw the lid back on your cornstarch because if it gets away, ugh, you'll have a heck of a time cleaning it up. Let's see. Let me put my cornstarch right there. Okay. So, are we ready to do the hard part? So now what, you say? Well, somehow we have to get this glued down to our base, and we have to get this glued down to our base, but we want this and this to be a part of each other. See that? Like this, because this is going to be flat, and then we're going to have a pocket there. So the only way I could think to do it was to start here and glue this one onto there. See that? That gives us a starting point. Right? You just have to make sure that this will still flap up and over. And we need to make sure that that is going to fit inside there. So, basically, that's my idea. So, let's... oh. This way. Yeah. Okay. So we need to glue those two together, but we need to be sure. Oh, look at that. There is space in there. Lots of space. Oh. Oh, Ange. Okay, so the best way to start is to, that's the piece that's going down. Okay. So because when you put it down, we're going to, okay. Because we want this piece to be glued to that piece. We are going to start by gluing this to that, but we want it to be in the right place, and it's not. This has to line up with the top. And you're putting it on the 1/2 inch piece. Okay? That makes sense? See? The pocket's starting to form under there for our next little photo album that's going to go inside. Okay? So now we need to take this piece and put these two together. So, and we want to be sure that these are even. Otherwise, when we lay it down in our book, it's going to be crooked. don't do the bottom yet. We're kind of saving that. So I think the best way to do it is go ahead and run our glue along there, and then we will squish that up and squish them together. Now one may be longer than the other. That would be normal because we have that 1/4 inch, we have that bump there from our scoring mark. So we want this one on this side of the scoring mark, like this. But we want to be sure we have them in the same spot. Yes? Yes. My ear is making noises. It's like my eardrum is pounding, I guess. So, be brave. Be brave. I'm just messing with it, trying to get my guts up to do it. So, I'm just going to do it. It's going to go up the glue on the outer 1/2 inch side. Okay, here we go. Line it up to the top. And it might help to stick a ruler under there. Kind of guide your fingers along. And press it down. Whew. We did it. We did it. Now we got to close the bottom. Same way down here. This has to, well, actually this is going to be a little separate. So on this one, you are just going to glue let's see. How shall we do that? Because that still has to get glued to that a little bit. Yeah, I think it's best to tuck that all the way under. Oh goodness, my stomach's really growling. I'm sorry. Okay. We are going to tuck that all the way under. Right about there, like that. Okay. And we're going to just glue this corner over to here for right now. And that's just going to pull it together for us. Now we do want it to be not at an angle, so it'll take a little bit of maneuvering there. I'm using the bone folder just to push up where I'm trying to square the corners up. That's what I'm trying to do without bringing this one in too far. There we go. Okay, let's go over here. Oops, it's very sensitive there. Okay, so far so good. Let's have a peek. Now these are not hidden pockets up here, but they may seem like it after we get our flaps coming out of there. Looking all the way around to see if I want to put some sort of a border under it, just because I do have that 1/8 of an inch all the way around, so I may use some washi tape under there. And this is going to get glued down in there, this pocket, so it's going to be flatter. What do you think? Yeah, see, it's just sticking up right now. But we will glue it under. That part will get glued down right there. Okay, well, I'm going to go take a break and eat my lunch. And I will be right back. And we will finish up page 2. All right, see you in a little bit. Bye. Okay, we're back. I had my lunch and we are ready to finish applying this page. Let's remove that piece. Now, let's figure this out. We are going to want glue here, 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 and on both of these, but we first need to apply glue under here. And we want those, well, that tab's not going to go on top. Okay. The tabs will have to go, the flap, bottom flap of the pockets will have to go underneath this. Now normally I don't like to do that, but we're going to put in shorter pull-outs, so they won't hit the bottom anyway. So first we want to apply glue to these and then pull that up, probably with a ruler, and get that glued down there. I think a ruler would help pull that up just good, just fine and dandy, just like candy. Yeah, you'll want to kind of make it even there. And then you'll have to move the ruler along to get that glued down evenly. So let's try it with the first one. I forgot to put the pin in my glue, so I'm going to have to clean it out here and make my glue work again. Give it a poke with that pin. And let's see if it works. Wish me luck. There's 1, 2, oops. Let's move that out of the way. And just take your time with it. Yeah, that works better to shove it clear under. Okay, so there's 1. Okay, I'm going to just leave my ruler in there. I'm just using the ruler to press up against my finger here. And we're not gluing down our pocket inside. I did get some glue in there, but I have, we'll wipe all that off here when I get done pressing it together. And some of this one came off. Well, a lot of it did. I guess I didn't get it glued down well enough. Didn't get enough of it before it dried. Okay, let that sit for a minute. Well, probably not a minute. So, not only did I have my lunch, but I have to tell you, I snuck away. And I went to an estate sale that they had last weekend, but I didn't make it to it last weekend, and I really wanted to go to it because they had a lot of lace and stuff for sale, and I was really interested in the lace. So you can see I'm applying score tape here, and I'm doing that to just reinforce that center part. I probably should have put that underneath there as well. That would have probably helped quite a bit. Anyway, I snuck off to this sale. And I was able to get a big bag of lace. I'm surprised somebody hadn't bought it, but anyway, I knew they had a lot of lace at the sale. I could see that in their advertisement. Okay. Are we ready for this? Find the place that says top. We definitely want to head for the top of this thing. Hopefully I will get that on there right. Feels like maybe I have it a little bit crooked right here. That is a little better. Okay. Yes, that's better. My glue does not seem to be sticking very well. I'm a little disappointed here. If it doesn't start sticking, we'll have to go to something else. Some other glue. Anyway, there wasn't much left at the garage at the estate sale, but I did get a big bag of lace for very little money. I was glad for that. Only paid a couple dollars for it, really, and it was pretty good. I was glad for that. Let's see right there, I've got a problem. Okay, well, go with the flow, Ange, go with the flow. Okay, so I do want it to go to the top, and I do want it to come over to the side. I do want a space on this side because I want it to glue down. Okay. I'm not so sure my glue is working right. I am not so sure it is. So I'm using that ruler inside there to press down to give me something hard to press on and hold it down for just temporary a little bit here. Trying to get the corners to glue down. Okay. It really doesn't feel like my glue's working good. Whoops, I don't want it in there. Oops. Get it out of there. I don't want to glue our hinge closed. Oh, it is not going to hold. What is going on with my glue? The other thing that will help hold it down is once we get our paper inside of these pockets. That will help hold it. Oh, it's getting better. Probably could have gone over that other way just a little bit to get it off this edge. Okay, while that's drying, let's put some more glue on it. So let's let that dry. Although this glue will dry clear, I still like to try and get as much of it off as I can. And then the one thing I'm going to want to do is take a piece of the smaller paper, take some a 1/4 inch, and I'm going to want to wrap these two little corners here to close that gap. I think that will help. I think I do have it slightly crooked in here, and that might be part of my problem. But can't move it now. So I think it's going to be okay. But I do definitely want to cover those corners. So let's cut a couple of pieces. And then let's cut them down to about 1/4 of an inch. Make sure they're going to fit, and they are. Yep, that will help, definitely. That will look a lot better. Yep, that will help. Okay. So we need to ink those because we ink the others. So this one or this one? I think it's this one. Okay, get those out of our way. Oh, Ange, I glued the wrong side. Okay, I think I got it off there. Doesn't help for aesthetic purposes if I mess it all up, does it? There, that looks better. I like it. The one thing about the distressing ink is that when the glue hits it, it turns kind of a brownish yellow. And I wish that I had something that I could cover that with, because I don't like the way it looks on the paper. I guess that's where you have to just be patient and scrape that little bit of glue away. Maybe tweezers or something would help. But I'm not going to keep messing with it right now because I do want it to set up. Okay, let's do this one. I'm going to put glue on the correct side this time. There we go. I do think that helps. That kind of makes it look like it's built in correctly now. I guess we never quit learning. I like the flowers, so I'm going to move this one this way so we can see those beautiful little flowers. Yeah, I know, I forgot to ink it, didn't I? Well, we're not inking that one. We can always go back and ink it in a little bit, but right now I'm not going to. Okay, so let's put that one in. Don't have a rose showing up on that one, but there is a light rose right there. Doesn't matter, does it? Oh, come on. My goodness. It wants to fight today. It was going in earlier. Good heavens. Maybe it's just being stubborn because it thinks I should ink it. Could be, you never know. Okay. Pocket, pocket, pocket. And pocket on the other side. Was it worth it? I don't know. Okay, my plan on this one is to put a booklet inside of here, but to put also booklets that come flop out of that one that come down to about here and then have a closure on them. So right about here maybe. We don't really want them super wide. We know they can't be any wider than this. So they could come up small like this. Or they could be longer and come down. Let's see where this is going to be. That's why we haven't applied this yet, because I wonder if we're going to have to put a magnets or something on. I'm glad we put that color under there. Okay, so I think we did a green book before. I think maybe on this one we'll do maybe a, should we do green behind since we're going to do the green, or should we do the pink? Let's see. This is what the green looks like. Kind of what it would look like flopping over. Let's see what a pink one would look like. This is not the same pink, and this is just a rough pink I have. See, I had used it for another project, but something happened. Something wasn't right about it. Our pink. Green or pink? Green or pink? That looks good on the green. That looks good on the pink. Decisions. Can you hear my brain thinking? It's like, what should we do? I guess I kind of like it better on the green. So I guess we'll make 2 floppy booklets out of the green, and then we'll put a pink in here for our bigger one. That's just an extra. I wonder. You know, that would work for the closure for these tabs coming down if the tabs only, if these only came down so far. That would work as the closure, and then we wouldn't have to worry about closures. Also, let's see. We are going to glue this pocket right about here. So would this work in here as a pocket? Almost. That's just an extra piece we have for right now. Okay. So I think maybe we should do that. Let's consider using this to make the stopper for that. And one of these could actually have one of these on them with some lace, or we cut it off. I think it needs to have some kind of border on it, like that. That would still work. There's a pocket closure. What do you think? I think so, don't you? Nice thing about that is we don't have to attach lots of other things. You could still have your picture there. Or we don't have to bring them out here at all. We can just tuck them inside in each pocket and leave our nice clean lines on this one, like we are on this one. We do need to add some lace maybe up here, or maybe some extra here. Okay, well, let me get back to you and we'll make a decision about how we want to finish this up. I think it's coming along really good. I'm not too disappointed in how it's turning out. I do wish I had worked a little harder at getting this straight up and down. But I think it's okay. But yeah, I think it's going to look nice. That's a heavy-duty page with this and then this. But I do feel like this one needs something. Something. What's it need? It needs some lace. Yes, it does. Okay, well, let me get back to you. Sorry, I'm yawning. Guess I need some coffee. Okay, I will be back in a little bit. Bye-bye for now.